Hello everybody, this is my first time making a video with my voice. And I'm making this tier list video just since I haven't seen anyone else do it. So yeah, if I stutter a bit, I'm sorry, but enjoy. Now, suppose you guys know what a tier list is, but if you don't know, an S tier is gonna pretty much mean absolutely necessary. A tier is gonna be really, really good. B tier is it's okay, it's pretty niche though. And C tier is it's not really great, but I don't know. There's better options out there. And F tier is gonna be just plain dog shit. Has no purpose. So the first one on the list is the Spark.
Why can I say foreskin, but I can't say?
I guess we'll never know.
It does nothing. F tier. The Bloxy-Cola. The Bloxy-Cola, in my opinion, is my favorite. Every time you drink it, it heals you by 30 health points. You can use it 3 times in a round with a 5-second cooldown. But what makes it pretty good, in my opinion, is because how instant it heals you. Unlike another item that has a fuse delay. And in my opinion, I think I'll put it at an A tier. The Floaty. The Floaty is a free mobility gear that, when underwater, allows you to swim by clicking 12 times. You can also use it outside of water to give yourself a little boost. You can only use it twice. It has an unlimited amount of uses, but it does require to be recharged with a 9-second cooldown. Now, it is pretty good, obviously, for starter players, but in the end game, when you get better gear and shit, it gets really outshined. So in my opinion, this goes at a C tier. The Bloxade. The Bloxade is kind of dookie, pretty niche. Anytime you drink it, it gives you the energize effect for 10 seconds. You could use it 3 times in a round with an 8-second cooldown. It just allows you to have infinite stamina. But honestly, I don't really see myself running out of stamina since I manage my stamina really well. But if you struggle with that, then this is your go-to drink. It also is a lot more viable since other mobility items require stamina, like the umbrella, the coils, and all the other stuff. So because of that, I'll put it at a B tier. The Witch's Brew. The Witch's Brew is actually a free item you can get on the Haunted Mansion map. When drinking the Witch's Brew, you get inflicted with Bewitched for 15 seconds with an 11-second cooldown. You can also use this 4 times in a round. You can actually either receive or lose around 30 health points. It's also the only way to get Bewitched, and if you don't know what it does, all it does is just changes your stats from being able to run really fast or slow, jump really high or low, or even have infinite stamina. But it's not really that good for survival. It's more of like a troll item just to have fun. So in my opinion, it's a C tier. The Umbrella. The Umbrella allows you to glide in the air for quite a bit depending on your stamina. You can use this infinitely without any recharges, but the downside is it drains 10 stamina per second when gliding through the air with it. Another pro is that it allows you to withstand acid for like a short time, but honestly, other than that, it's not really that good since it drains your stamina. And like I said, there's a better option out there. So I'm honestly gonna put this at a C tier. The Hot Chocolate. The Hot Chocolate's another consumable item that heals you. But unlike the Bloxy-Cola, instead of instantly healing you, it actually regenerates your health. It heals you by 3 health points per second with 4 uses and a 9-second cooldown. When drinking, it gives you the warm effect for 8 seconds, which allows you to not be frozen, and heals you in a total of 24 health points in the span of 8 seconds. Now, in my opinion, this is my favorite secondary healing option in the game. So in my opinion, I put it at an A tier. The Epic Brew. The Epic Brew is an interesting kind of consumable. It heals you by 15 health points with a 7-second cooldown. You can use this 6 times in a round. Now, what's interesting about it is that it can give you any random effect in the game to yourself or other players. Now this item is more of a troll item than an actual survivalist tool, but it's pretty fun to mess around with. If you love gambling with status effects, then this is your go-to drink. In my opinion, this goes at a C tier. The med kit. The medkit's another healing tool, but unlike the Bloxy Cola, it heals you by 100 health points with a 5-second cooldown. You can use this twice in a round though, but the only downside is that it has a fuse delay of 4 seconds. And if you're using the medkit and you get hurt, it will cancel out the medkit and you have to restart all over again. It's also the only way to cure bleeding, but it's also really good in my opinion. But I like using the Bloxy Cola since it's an instant health, but this is also a very good option. So A tier. The Teddy Blockspin. The Teddy Blockspin's a gambler's choice of healing. It can either heal you and give you blast effect for 3 seconds, or it can explode. Now both of these are a 50-50 chance, so good luck with that. It heals you by 50 health points. You can also use this 5 times in a round with a 7-second cooldown. The explosion radius is around 16 studs. Now this is again the only way to get the blessed effect, but this is more used as a troll item. So in my opinion, this goes at a B tier. The Hang Glider. The Hang Glider is a better version of the umbrella, and just like the umbrella, it drains stamina by 10 stamina points a second and unlimited uses. But what's better about it is that it allows you to fly quicker than the umbrella. Now this is just a way better version of the umbrella, so B tier. Although it's good, there's a better option in the game. The Regen Coil. The Regen Coil, when held, allows you to regenerate 10 health points a second with unlimited uses. Now this sounds really good, but to be honest, this shit's kind of fucking ass. It passively drains your stamina by 10% and can only be used for 8 seconds. After that, you have to wait for 12 seconds for it to regenerate. Now, you think you could just use the block seed to have infinite stamina, but it will still have to be recharged. So it makes it a lot less usable. In the end, it heals you around 80% of your health. Now, honestly, I don't really like this. I'd rather just stick to the Bloxy Cola or the mug or the med kit in my opinion. I'd probably just put this at a B tier. The Haunted Cheeseburger. It makes you into a ghost or invisible for 10 seconds with an 8-second cooldown. You can also use this 3 times in a round. Now, this shit is C tier in my opinion. It does not hide you from the disasters. You will still be targeted. It only allows you to hide from actual players. So if you're being targeted, then you could just use this, or you could just use it to sneak up on people. But yeah, like I said, C tier. It's really ass. It doesn't even heal you either. The Speed Coil. The Speed Coil is a lot better for, well, running, as it's in the name. But unlike the Regeneration Coil, it does not have a recharge, so you can use this infinitely. It gives you a 25% walking speed boost and a 50% sprint boost. It also drains stamina by 2.5 times. Now this is really good for running around, but I honestly don't see myself running around as much, mostly jumping. So in my opinion, this is an A tier. It's really good, but I don't personally use it. The Epic Sauce. The Epic Sauce is kind of weird, since when drinking it, it gives you a burning effect and also the epic effect, which essentially allows you to be burned without taking damage. The effect lasts for 10 seconds with a 14-second cooldown and can be used 3 times in a round. Now this isn't honestly that good of a survival tool, more of a troll item. But if you actually catch on fire and drink this, it will nullify the fire damage taken. So it could be used pretty good, but it's only if you're on fire, since it won't really do anything if you're not on fire. Now you could actually get kills with it, with people who are AFK and stuff. So in my opinion, this is a B tier. The Gravity Coil. The Gravity Coil is an absolute S tier. It allows you to jump really high with it, costing 33 stamina every time you do jump, and has unlimited uses. But what's really good about it is it also has lower gravity, so you can fall safely and also get out of water a lot easier. If you're flung with it and have the item on your hand, it will fling you a lot further and also drain your stamina a lot more. But this is way better. And like I said, absolute S tier of an item. Slate Skin Potion. The Slate Skin Potion makes you hard for 6 seconds and has a cooldown of 6 seconds and can also be used 4 times in a round. When hardened, it negates all the trauma to your body entirely. Now, you still get ragdolled, but you don't take any damage from it. You also are slightly slower, so take that into consideration, and also have some kind of knockback resistance. Now, honestly, I don't really like this since it doesn't really give you protection from ragdoll, but at least you don't take damage from it. So in my opinion, this has gotta be a B tier. The Epic Mind Pawner. The Epic Mind Pawner is actually pretty cool. I had really fun using it. It essentially allows you to destroy or parry anything in the game, from some of the disasters to pretty much anything that the players try to hit you with, like bombs and stuff like that. It has a 2-second cooldown and can be used 4 times in a round. The range of the Epic Mind Pawner is around 10 studs. Now this is really cool, but also really hard to use. And if you're really good at pairing stuff in the game, then this is your go-to item, I guess. Really good, but obviously really hard. So honestly, an A tier. The Fusion Coil. The Fusion Coil is all 3 of the coils combined into one. Now this sounds really good, but the downside is that it's slightly less powerful than the original 3. It heals you 1 health point a second, but has unlimited uses and does not need to be recharged. It gives you a sprint boost of 15% and drains your stamina by 10% every time you jump. Now again, this does drain stamina by 2%, but that's not that big of a problem. And unlike the Speed Coil, it doesn't have the slight walking speed boost, and unlike the Gravity Coil, does not have the low gravity on it. Now this is really good if you want to save some slots in your inventory, but I don't really like it. I'd rather just have 1 good coil and 1 good consumable. So in my opinion, A tier. Definitely better than the regeneration coil. The Grappling Hook. Ooh, is the Grappling Hook fucking good, bro. That shit has saved me so many times. Wow. It allows you to cling onto items and pull you towards it with a 2-second cooldown and 6 uses in a round. It has a 90 stud range radius. And like I said, this has saved me so many times. Came in absolute clutch when I really needed it. So this just goes to an absolute S tier. The Gear Suppressor. The Gear Suppressor is dog shit. It applies silence to anyone within a 12 stud radius, making them forcefully unequip their gear for 3 seconds. It can only be used 3 times in a round with an 8-second cooldown. Now, like I said, this is really dog shit. There's, again, a better option. It's not really that good since the effect only lasts for 3 seconds. So yeah, C tier. The Fire Extinguisher. Now, I think you guys know what the fuck this shit is. It extinguishes fire. It can be used indefinitely, but does have like a recharge and an 11-second cooldown. The range of the item is only 30 studs, and obviously, like I said, can put out fire, but it's not really that good, especially since it forces them to run and jump. But putting out the fire is okay, but there's not really that many disasters with fire in them, in my opinion, for this to really become that needed. So in my opinion, C tier. The Speed Pad. The Speed Pad is a structure that you place down and can be stepped on 8 times. When stepped on, it gives the hasten effect for 6 seconds. The item can be placed 4 times in a round. It temporarily boosts your running and walking speed by 1.5 times, and also replenishes 10% of your stamina. Now, kind of like the Speed Coil, I don't really run around as much, so this is honestly just a B tier. The Gravity Pad. The Gravity Pad is another buildable structure that you place down, and it will force players to bounce upwards and temporarily gives them the buoyant effect for 3 seconds. It can be placed down 4 times in a round, but can only be stepped on 6 times. It has a 4-second cooldown. Unlike the Speed Pad, it drains 10 stamina instead of giving you. But again, kind of like the Gravity Coil, I use this a lot more often than the Speed Pad, so S tier support. The Crowbar. The crowbar allows you to destroy structures brick by brick. It could also be used to unfreeze players. It has unlimited uses, but it does have like a 2-second cooldown and have a 5-stud radius. It's honestly pretty nice if you're trapped inside of something and need to get out or try to destroy your way to safety. So honestly, in my opinion, this is actually pretty good. So I put this at an A tier, especially if it's like a snowstorm or acid rain and I need to get under something. The Staff of Healing. The Staff of Healing casts like a little ball, and anyone near the ball will get healed 15% of their HP.
Thank you for saving me.
What's good about it is that it can go through walls and, again, hit multiple people at once. Although the health regeneration is not really that good, it can be used 6 times in a round with a 0.5 second cooldown. It's pretty good if you want to heal people from a safe distance. But the only problem is that people have to be cluttered together and also near their bombs. And most of the time people are running around, jumping up and down, and not really stay together. So honestly, it's pretty good, but it depends on the players. So honestly, A tier. You could save quite a bit of people with it. The Trowel. The Trowel allows you to build 7 times in a round with a 2-second cooldown. You can either build a wall, a roof, or a truss. It's pretty good if you need coverage from above or from the sides, or if you probably need to build somewhere. Now honestly, I don't really see myself building that much with it, but it could be kind of useful. So honestly, it's an A tier support. And the last support on this list, the Celestial Staff. The Celestial Staff allows you to pull other players towards you and gives them a force field for 2 seconds. You can use this 3 times in a round with an 8-second cooldown and it has a range of 80 studs. Now it's really good. It could also be used as offense, but it's pretty hard to do that. I've been saved countless times with it and also saved a lot of people with it. The only problem is that you have to be on the lookout for every player in the game if you want to save them, and also have to act quickly. In my opinion, this is probably an S tier because how good it actually does its job. The Banana Peel. The Banana Peel can be consumed, and when consumed, heals you 10% of your health. It can be used 6 times in a round and a 2-second cooldown. But after you eat it, you drop the Banana Peel on the ground, and if someone were to step on it, they will get ragdolled and kind of flung a little bit. It can be stepped on 3 times before disappearing. Now the Banana Peel itself isn't really that dangerous. It's more of a troll item, but if you want to cause some serious damage, there's a way better option. So this is a C tier. The Time Bomb. The Time Bomb is a destructive tool that can be used 6 times in a round with a 7-second cooldown. After placed on the ground, it will explode after 2 seconds. Now the explosion radius depends on the speed it's moving. It can explode from around 3 to 12 studs and can be kicked to around 70 studs. You can kick the Time Bomb by running up to your own bomb, but you can't kick others, so be aware of that. Now this is honestly a lot better than what it used to be, especially since it's free, but you do kind of have to time it and kick it in a way for it to be really good. But honestly, there's a better option, so this is gonna be an A tier. The Water Balloon. The Water Balloon is really ass. When a player is hit with the Water Balloon, it will just knock them down and makes them wet. You can use this 5 times in a round with a 2-second cooldown and can be thrown around 100 studs. But if it hits the ground, it will leave like a little puddle, which is like around 6 studs. And kind of like the Banana Peel, it will just fling them around and ragdoll them, but also applies wet to them for 2 seconds. The puddle only disappears after 6 seconds. So honestly, this is slightly better than a Banana Peel. And like I said, there's a way better option, so B tier. The Subspace Trip Mine. The subspace trip mine is a bomb that you place on the ground. It can be placed down 5 times in a round with a 5-second cooldown. After placing it, it will have a fuse delay of 2 seconds and will pretty much go invisible. Now, if anyone is unlucky to step on this, it will explode and inflict the confused effect. The explosion radius is around 6 studs, but if you know where you're placing this thing could be so destructive, especially in crowded rooms. But you also have to be careful since you can also step on it. And like I said, this is the better option of the banana peel and the water balloon. Absolute S tier trap, crazy destructive. The dynamite. The dynamite is a throwable bundle of dynamite that explodes after 2 seconds. It can be used 3 times in a round and has a 10-second cooldown. The throwing distance is around 100 studs and the radius of the explosion is around 15 studs. Now this is slightly better than the time bomb since you can aim it easier and don't have to place it down, kick it. For just being slightly more reliable and having a slightly bigger explosion, it goes to an S tier. The exploding pie.
Go all the way to your brain. And then when it enters your brain and reaches the memory.
The exploding pie is pretty much just a sticky grenade. It can be thrown 4 times in a round with an 8-second cooldown and a fuse delay of 3 seconds. It can also be thrown 130 studs. Now the explosion radius is a little weird since if it hits an object or any part of the map, the explosion radius will be small, like around 3 studs. But if it attaches onto a player, the explosion will be greater, to around 8 studs. The explosion itself doesn't really have any actual damage, but it does knock them out and kind of fling them a bit. Now honestly, this is okay. I'd give it an A tier just because it can stick onto things. The bear trap. The bear trap is another trap that can be placed on the ground 3 times in a round with a 4-second cooldown, but it has a fuse delay of 2 seconds. If anyone steps on it, they will be inflicted with bleeding for 14 seconds and also have their movement limited by a 6x6 area near the bear trap for 5 seconds. And honestly, this is kind of unique, but it's pretty fun to use. You could get kills with it, it's pretty hard though. But honestly, I like it a lot, so A tier, kind of underrated. The Molotov. The Molotov is a throwable bottle that explodes into a burst of fireballs that can burn players or objects. This can be used 5 times in a round with a 5-second cooldown and a throwing distance of 130 studs. Now, it's not as good as what it used to be since the impact itself wouldn't really start the fire, but rather the little fireballs that shoot outward after impact. And because how unreliable it is, it's honestly a B tier. It doesn't even spread like crazy at all, like the wildfire. The rage table. The rage table can be used 4 times in a round with an 8-second cooldown and a throwing distance of around 70 studs. The table itself is really hard to use since you can't really aim it like all the other throwable objects. It bounces around 12 times before it disappears. If it hits any part of the map, it will destroy it, and if it hits a player, it will ragdoll them. Now this is only good in crowded areas or indoors, but it's not really that good either and really hard to use. So honestly, a B tier. The Super Ball. A powerful ball capable of causing blunt force trauma. The Super Ball is insane. You can use it 4 times in a round with an 8-second cooldown and a throwing distance of 150 studs. This thing is really nasty and toxic, bro. If you hate someone, you could just throw a Super Ball and fling them out of the map and kill them. Not to mention it also just causes trauma, so you could just kill them by hitting them. It's even dangerous for the user itself since it can bounce back to you and kill you. It doesn't destroy any part of the map, but only damages players. Now this is the most reliable gear in the game that can really get you some kills. And like I said, the most toxic shit in the game. Absolute S tier. The snowball. The snowball can be used 6 times in a round with a 5-second cooldown and can be thrown around 160 studs. When it hits a player, it inflicts a chilled effect, which makes their movement slightly slower and also obscures their vision. The snowball itself is just a little, well, snowball. It's not really supposed to cause any serious damage or things like that. It's a little bit of a troll to annoy people in a friendly way, but yeah, this is a C tier. The slap hand. The slap hand is kind of an innocent tool. It can be used infinitely with a 6-second cooldown and it has a range of 4 studs. All it does is just knock down the player. Doesn't really cause any damage to them, but if you're on pretty high on the map and smack them down, you could bring them down to their death. So honestly, it's a B tier. The stun gun. The stun gun is pretty much the slap hand, but a lot better. You can use this 3 times in a round with a 14-second cooldown. When used, you will shock yourself without the knockback. You have to run up to other players and zap them in order to really take effect. After that, it can spread like wildfire. The stun is also pretty long, so you can actually get some kills with it. It's really dangerous and can get really annoying really quickly for other players. So honestly, S tier. The car keys. The car keys summon a car from the sky wherever you're standing at. When used, a honk will be heard from the sky and the car will fall from the sky. If you do not move, it will pretty much crush you and cause serious trauma. The car keys is mostly used to hurt unsuspecting players. The car key only has one use, but can be used if the car is destroyed and takes 30 seconds to recharge. You could get kills with it, but you have to make sure they are in an open spot and are not aware of their surroundings. You will not get the kill since it will just count as trauma, but if you can use this, it is really fun and honestly really strong. In my opinion, this is an A tier. Now that's about it. I guess leave your thoughts in the comments. And also another thing is that some items will be a little more useful in hardcore mode, but I'm not doing that. And also some can be combined with others, so keep that in mind. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching the video, if you made it to the end.
Yo, you both are getting